Hello everybody, welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're going to be making some pizzas on some naan bread, and it's going to be like a type of white pizza. So we're going to be using some ricotta cheese, mozzarella cheese, and feta cheese, and I also have some greens here. This is actually wild spinach from my backyard, and we're gonna be toasting our naans for about 5 minutes in the oven ahead of time at 350. So we're gonna brush them with some olive oil first, and also as I'm putting on all the cheeses, I'm gonna sprinkle in some crushed red pepper because I like it to have a little bit of a kick. And also I thought it'd be nice to put tomato slices on this, but we did use up all our tomatoes yesterday at Spanish Club, so we'll make it without, but I would definitely recommend trying that with tomatoes at home. And speaking of Spanish Club, if you haven't heard about our club yet, this is our second summer doing Spanish Club with our teacher Anna, who is great. She's really fun. She knows a lot, and a lot of times we have really good Mexican food during our club meetings. For example, yesterday we made chilaquiles and Anna brought us a really nice tres leches cake. So if you'd like to come join us, it is open to ages 9 and up. So it's very multi-generational. We have people of all ages there, all cooking and learning Spanish together. And it is every Thursday this summer at 3 p.m. and I believe we're meeting through the first or second week of August. So come join us while you have a chance. It's summer only. All right, let's get started. First, I'm gonna preheat my oven to 350. All right, hopefully you can see this. We're gonna do bake. It's already 350 automatically and start. And now it says 100, so that means it's now preheating. So when it gets to 350, there'll be a beep and it will say 350, and that's how we'll know it's ready. All ovens are different though, but that's how this one works. All right, and if you're not familiar with parchment paper, it's just something that's really good for baking. It helps things to bake more evenly, especially if you're doing cookies or something. I learned from Sue from our Sous Chefs Club that you actually don't have to brush the whole thing. It's enough to just do the edges. Alright, so how normally you would put your tomato sauce on first if you're making a pizza, so I'm going to replace that with this ricotta cheese. I'm going to spread that on. And if you've never used ricotta cheese before, it's really fun. It's like, you see, it's very spreadable. It makes it really creamy if you use it in recipes. I like to actually put like a few good spoonfuls of this into my eggs when I'm doing scrambled eggs or a frittata or omelet or just regular scrambled eggs, and just scramble it together. It makes your egg dish be more creamy at the end, so that's really fun. It's also really nice if you melt some chocolate, especially I like dark chocolate. Melt some chocolate and then blend it together with some of this, and it makes it sort of like a chocolate pudding type dish. So those are some fun ways I like to use ricotta cheese. All right, so these are my greens that I was going to tell you more about. So this is wild spinach. It's Chenopodium album. That's the Latin name. Chenopodium comes from chenopod, which actually means goosefoot. So it's the goosefoot family. Because back in the day, people thought that this shape of leaf looked like a goose's foot. They're also called lamb's quarters because also back in old times, people would use these to feed their livestock. So the quarter, if you're not familiar, of a animal is like the hindquarters. So the good part to eat, apparently. So that would make their animals get fattened up, and then in the fall they could kill the animals and have the meat over the winter. Because obviously back then they didn't have refrigeration. Canning hadn't even been invented yet. We're talking long time ago, centuries ago. This kind of leaf you can't really dry very well. Some herbs and leaves you can dry, but these might be a bit too fleshy to dry that well. You could try it. Obviously they didn't have freezers. So how are you going to make good use of your summer and spring greens all year round? You can't really save them if you don't have any of those things. So your best bet is to use them to fatten up your animals, and then that way you still get the vegetable goodness in meat form during the cold part of the year. So that's what people used to use these for. You can also eat them green. Obviously people still ate them green too when they had a chance. So this is a wild plant, and definitely do not go eating any wild plants unless you're absolutely 100% sure that you know what it is. Just watching me wave it around on the camera for a few minutes doesn't count. You have to do your own research. So I will put the link down below to the book that I've been using to learn more about some foraged foods. So that's my little disclaimer, but I do know for sure what this is. I've read the entire section in the book on it, and I've been growing this in my garden this year from seeds that I harvested in the fall. Okay, so we're gonna put this on our pizza. It tastes pretty much just like spinach. All right, we're gonna put these in the oven. Oh, I just realized I forgot to toast the naans first before I put stuff on them, but oops, I'm sure it'll still be good. Okay, we're just checking on our little pizzas. I hope you can see. It looks like the cheese is melting. So I think I'll just wait a little bit longer, maybe let some of the cheese get a bit browned, and then I'll take them out. All right, so here's a little view of what they look like as they're about to go into the oven. And I don't think I actually showed you the ones that had to come out of the oven. So these are the ones that came out of the oven. But of course, I almost forgot to put on the mozzarella and the feta, so that would have been bad. All right, I'm actually gonna try one of them while I wait for the last batch to finish. So I think this turned out really good. I would definitely make this again. I think next time I would put on some more cheese, and I would definitely try it with the tomatoes like I mentioned before. I was a little bit afraid of putting on too much cheese and having it just sort of overflow. So that's why I put on a little bit less with this first batch, but I think it could definitely handle some more. But it's really good, it has a very nice flavor. I would recommend trying this if you want a nice, quick, easy lunch or dinner, especially nice for company probably too, or even just for 1 or 2 people. All right, thanks for joining me in the kitchen this month, and I will see you again in the 4th Tuesday of July, which will be our last in the kitchen of the summer. We'll take a break in August, and then we'll be back in September. All right, have a great week. Bye.